on to our filters. So I've clicked my background, and for now, I'm actually going to just disable my logo because it's a little bit distracting. My background's still clicked. And I'm going to go to filter. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, well, how do I want this to look? I think if it's a little bit busy right now, maybe I could try blurring it. So I go in and it tells me just so many different ways that I could blur. I can experiment with these, or, well, there's another way you can do it too. And it's a lot more visual. I do recommend going to the filter gallery. Now this here, it will take a little bit more time to load, but it gives you so many more options that you can just see right from the beginning before you get used to it. Eventually, you will know what a Gaussian blur is, for example, and in that case, you can go ahead and just click Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. But for now, when we don't know everything, and we really just want that visual, we want to see, well, how would it look like? We can experiment this way. So I'm going through, I can click, and of course, the beautiful thing about Photoshop is going to be that I can modify anything that I do. This is a cool effect. It almost gives it an infrared feel to it. If I were to go down and select that. But I don't think it's really relevant to my design. So I'm going to pass on that one. Palette knife. Ooh, this could be interesting if you were trying to make it look like a painting. A little bit more of a realistic painting if the stroke size goes down, because that means that you would be using a smaller brush, quote unquote. Cross-hatching, if you want to add a little bit more of an artistic effect to it. We can raise our stroke length to enhance that again. There's lots of stuff that you can do here, and quite a bit of it will look great in your work. So I'm just going through, I'm seeing, and I'm thinking, if I wanted to set this up as like an ad, maybe I'm starting an Instagram for this this company, and I want to just visually start promoting. Well, what would make the most sense? All of these are still a little bit too out there for me. Lots of great artistic effects in this one. The grain might work well. It adds a little vintage flair to it. If I increase my intensity and contrast, that's an interesting look. Maybe I'll try that out. And if I don't like it, I can always undo. Yeah, let's try that. I'm going to hit OK. And here we have it, our background. We put our design on top, and it does make it stand out a little bit more. Now, one thing that you may want to do before you do what I just did, we only have one layer here. I would always suggest make a duplicate. So I'm going to go ahead, right click, duplicate. I can just keep it as background copy. And then I'll go right back into filter, filter gallery. Here we go. And it automatically did what I just did. We don't even have to go to all that work as long as we keep it as our last action that we've done. It will automatically load that, and the very top bar of filter will apply that same filter you did last to your layer. Now that I have the two layers, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hide the visibility here. And then I can make a more informed decision of, do I like this? Do I like this effect? Do I not like this effect? Does it help or does it harm my design? Other things that you can do, of course, you can always reduce the opacity of the background. And if I go in, I add a new layer, drag it to the bottom. And these little checkerboards are telling me that there's a little bit of opacity there. I'm at about 65%, which will lighten my image up. I can add a little white background by going to my paint bucket tool, black and white, flip them so that white is on top. White would be your active color. A little click on my layer here, and there we go. There we have it. So it lightens it up the remainder of that percent. One way that you can also increase contrast. All right. Hope this video helped, and we'll see you for the next one.